Hello everyone! This video is about the figure of the teacher, a person of a great influence in our society. First, we will talk about what is to be a teacher and what is to be a good teacher. It is very important that you pay attention because these tools and advices can be useful for the future, you as a future teacher. Then, we talk about what is a bilingual teacher and what is to be a good bilingual teacher. I hope you like it.
Hi, I'm Juan Antonio, and I'm going to talk about what is to be a teacher. Teaching can be performed by any person authorized to teach in front of a group of students. However, being a teacher is much more than just a job. A teacher should be aware of the role he plays in society. Two aspects or dimensions must be kept in mind: capacitation and training. The teacher has to achieve theoretical knowledge, and he has to develop practical skills in capacitation. These skills are related with implementation in front of the students. That is, to know what, to know how, and the student will. The teacher must have the specific abilities to carry out his educational work effectively. The job of a teacher is not easy. It implies a big responsibility, patience, and lots of motivation. In short, being a teacher is a person with skills and abilities that seeks not only the teaching and learning of their students. It is very important the student develop a critical and transformation capacities. In general, prepare them for life. This means to be a guide, a counselor, a psychologist, a doctor, and second parent for children. I believe that vocation is very important. I think we are in a society with a lack of vocation, where it is more important to study the easiest and get a job. In addition, the student needs that teacher lives what he does. It is a very complicated profession that requires most of the time, demands many commitments, plan classes and events, and take care of their image before society. I think the most beautiful reward a teacher can have is the affection and gratitude of the students, and when they become older, people say, "That was my teacher," and that is worth it.
Hi, my name is Luisa, and I'm going to talk about what is to be a good teacher. Came to the conclusion that a good teacher should have different characteristics, and now I'm going to describe every one of them. Cordiality and closeness. From the first moment a teacher meets who will be his students, he must be cordial, close, and the most sympathetic possible. Children will be expectant, some even slightly frightened by the possible change of a teacher. The teacher has to get his students to be not afraid to ask questions and advice. In some cases, the child will spend more time with the teacher than with his parents. Respect. Respect is going to be necessary in the overall education of a children. Although this will be mutual, it will be the teacher who will have to establish the limits in the classroom. This is the reason why he must know how to stand in front of the class, always away from any signs of violence. Patience. The teacher must be patient. One of the foundations of today's education is that no two children are the same. Their work rhythms, their behaviors in class, and all the external factors can affect their learning. Some will need more time and some less to do their homework and understand what they are learning in class. But both must know that they are going to get our help if they need them. Our support must be firm and constant, and we never have to give anything for lost or show them a lack of confidence towards them. Enthusiasm and dedication. The teacher must show enthusiasm and dedication in his daily work. Being a teacher is a vocation, and we have to try to take our work to another level. Ease of communication. Give of gab is something all teachers must have. It should not be forgotten that in the communicative process that will be established every day in the classroom, the teacher will play most of the time the role of a sender, but he will often be the receiver. In the first courses of the children, they will not always be clear. Sometimes they will even be extremely confusing with their answers and questions, and we must know how to interpret them as much as possible. Creativity. All teachers must be creative. During our classes, some problems can appear, and we have to be very creative to solve them as soon as possible. This creativity will also be very useful when making innovative and interesting didactic approaches. Working capacity. Even during individual tasks, children always require our observation and support. And that does not mean that at any other time we cannot do other tasks that our job requires, such as looking for information, enrich our future explanation, or correct exercises, but always keeping an eye on the class. Self-confidence. In order to be able to make decisions, the teacher has to believe in himself. Otherwise, he will hardly dare to make complex decisions. When you have to exercise your authority and show integrity, that security in itself will also make things easier for you. Ability to organize and plan. The teacher will have to move from one subject to another several times throughout the day, and he has to do it in an organized way. Good transitions and sometimes relationship between subjects will help children to understand the contents. Planning activities as well as the organization of the didactic units will be very important work, since children will feel more secure if they see everything is planned in the class. Observer and counselor. Children's personalities are going to be different. There will be some cases in which the teacher clearly sees his need to apply his counseling skills, which will contribute to improve the climate in the classroom and the teaching learning process. Motivator. Motivation must be continuous. The teacher must find the necessary arguments so that the children can motivate it to class every day. Perhaps this is the biggest challenge of a teacher. Responsibility. A responsible teacher will know that he has to be punctual, patient, enthusiastic about his work, and constantly worrying about motivating his students. He also has to evaluate them, always looking for the best for them and their future. All those were some characteristics of what a good teacher must have. But what about bad teachers? What are bad teachers? Bad teachers show the failures of the student, and they generate fear. Bad teachers do not take into account the student's participation. They only evaluate the final result and don't think about the effort they have made. If the results are not good enough, the teacher will blame the student for those poor results. And also, bad teachers do not innovate. They don't create new activities or ways of teaching for their students to be more motivated in their classes.
Hello, my name is Marta Montero and I'm going to talk about what is to be a bilingual teacher. Nowadays, there is still a lack of teachers in the knowledge of foreign languages sufficient to give classes. Every teacher who teaches his subject in a foreign language must have a minimum level of C1. For a dual bilingual education program, it is very important that a teacher is not only a native speaker. He has to do activities in the natural science, mathematics, and literature in order to be able to talk about any subject related to primary school. In addition, the normal thing is that the minimum level that the school asks for is B2. Having this minimum level of languages and the possibility of teaching subjects in a foreign language makes things easier. To give classes in any educational center is necessary to have a master's degree in secondary teacher training, baccalaureate, vocational training, and language teaching. To access this postgraduate training, it is necessary to accredit a B1 level of a foreign language. Creative process consists of research, the vision, idea, and inspiration of the student, thinking in a brainstorm, and finally design your own method. Creativity involves motivation, mind, brainstorm, knowledge, idea, inspiration, vision, and innovation.
Hi, my name is Ángela and I am going to talk about what is to be a good bilingual teacher. To have more opportunities to find a position as a teacher, we should try to have the highest level of a foreign language, like the use of other skills, such as the use of ICT in the classroom, are highly demanded in schools. Another thing that a teacher should awaken in a student is curiosity, which can be done initially with games. Now, I am going to explain some characteristics of the teacher. First, listen to English every day. Second, learn to read what the student's brain says. Therefore, a good teacher must be able to determine exactly where the student fails and why he fails, and to do so, he must be very attentive to the student's mistakes and analyze them. That's what's called reading the brains of the student. Third, always correct the mistakes of the student. If a teacher does not correct the mistakes of his student immediately, the teacher remains. Fourth, always listen to the student. Fifth, have fun teaching. Sixth, be patient. Seventh, study English every day. A good teacher knows the subjects about which he deals perfectly and that is only achieved by studying them. Eighth, learn how to correctly transmit information. In short, the teacher must always be experimenting with methods and resources to get your student to understand the information as quickly and clearly as possible. To sum up, if you are a bilingual teacher, you will teach your knowledge to all students in a correct way. If the opposite happens, a student will fail.
After putting all of our opinions in common, we came to the conclusion that vocation is one of the most important things that a teacher should have. We have the power to change the world in our classrooms.